We are talking about why the scale is not your best tool of measuring your progress and how to stay motivated even if it doesn't move. Because we've all been there. We've all stripped down. We go into the bathroom, we get on that scale, we're looking for something to happen, and maybe it doesn't happen. Or maybe the number goes up and you get super frustrated and overwhelmed and you're like, what the heck? I've been doing workouts for like 5 whole days. Why has it not moved, right? You've felt this at some point in your life. You've been tracking your food, you've been eating super healthy, you're getting in all those nasty vegetables, you get on the scale, nothing moves, you get super discouraged, you go eat all of the Sour Patch Kids in your pantry, and then you start this vicious cycle all over again. I am here to reassure you, the scale is not your best measuring tool when it comes to your progress. Yes, it is a tool. Yes, it's one of the many that we have to track our progress as we go, especially here in Goals and Grace, but it's not the best, and that's what I want to share with you today. There's so many factors that go into that one number that it just can't differentiate all of them, if that makes sense. So you step on that scale. That scale is not telling you how much of your body is fat and muscle. It's not telling you that you've changed over the last week a pound of fat into a pound of muscle. It doesn't tell you any of that. You just get on the scale, you see a number, and it's either a happy number or a sad number because you've associated that emotion with it. The number means nothing. It's how you associate yourself with it. It's not paying attention to if you're bloated, if it's that time of the month. It's not paying attention to how much sleep you got. It's not paying attention to if you overindulged this past weekend for Halloween. It's not paying attention to what clothing you have on your body currently and what clothing you had on last time. It's not paying attention to what time of day it is. None of those things matter. You literally step on the scale and it shoots you out a number. If you want to use your weight, a tool in your toolbox to track your progress here in Goals and Grace, you absolutely can, but I want to give you a couple of tips to help you not get discouraged if that number isn't changing, or help to give you some insight as to why it's not the best tool and how you can make it a better tool. So the first thing that we do here in Goals and Grace is we look at lots of measurements, right? I'm having you take your photos, I'm having you measure out different parts of your body that you might not be super familiar with doing, and I'm having you do the number on the scale because here's why. Let's say you work out 5 days during the week and that scale doesn't move. Do you get super discouraged and say, I'm done with these workouts, I'm not doing it anymore, nothing has changed? Only if you kept going, a month from now, you might lose some weight or you might stay the same, but your body composition changed. If you quit before you ever get there, we've accomplished nothing. Your mindset has shut you down. You haven't changed a thing and you're right back to square one. So what I want you to do is use your weight as a tool in your toolbox, help you to view a big picture of what's happening with the changes that are happening in your body and not get discouraged if it doesn't shift. Number one, we are weighing only weekly. I get on the scale in the morning, I was 141. I get on the scale at night, I was 144. Let's say I'm only tracking one of those measurements, right? So I get on the scale at nighttime for the Goals and Grace journal. I write down 144. And then I get on the scale in the morning a week later. So I got on at night, it was 144. I get on in the morning, it's 141. I'm like, woo, I lost 3 pounds. Then week 3, I get back on at night and it's 145. Wait, I just gained 4 pounds? How did that happen? No, are you being consistent with how you're weighing? Just like your measurements, you want to make sure you're measuring the same areas every time. If you're going to choose to weigh in the morning, try and weigh at the same time every morning that you do. The other thing I would say to do is wear the same thing. If you want to get on the scale butt naked, go do that. But don't get on the scale next time with a whole, your winter coat and gloves and hat and expect to see a different change. You're going to be consistent when you're doing that. The other piece of that is why weekly measuring? One, to give you that trend, to show you if you're headed in the right direction. Even if it's a point or a percentage of a pound, it's still going to show you that that trend is moving in the right direction. But the other thing is that it's going to help you not to obsess over it. I don't want your weight to be something you want to feel like you have to get on the scale every day and see where you are. If you can, stretch it. Get on every other week. Get on once a month. That's fine. Whatever works best for you. I want to help you create a healthy relationship with the scale and help you to understand and see, again, this is a tool in your toolbox. It is not something that defines who you are. It is not something that you have to obsess over. It is not something that defines your progress totally. It is a tool. And how to make this the most accurate and the most helpful when it comes to your progress is don't do it alone. Take the measurements, take the photos, track your monthly milestone workouts, track your weight too, but look at the big picture. And even if your scale has not changed, are you starting to see muscles when you flex your biceps? Do you see some abs poking through on when you take your photos? Are you just more confident in your photos? Are you smiling? These are all things that are wins, and finding those small wins, even if the scale doesn't move, there are still wins to be celebrated, and that's what I want to help you accomplish here in Goals and Grace. I would love to know what you guys think about the scale, how your relationship has changed maybe in your time here in Goals and Grace, and if you have a tip that you want to suggest to the group, I would love to hear that below.